Alright, ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? My name's Matt. I'll tell you a little bit about my backstory, but basically, I'm recording this on Christmas Eve, and this is a brand new channel. My background is video editing, and I know a lot of people out there are young video editors. I have been very lucky to call video editing my career as a profession for about 5 to 6 years now. And I worked in a full-time job as a video editor for those years. Also, I was doing some work for clients on the as a side hustle, but only probably bringing in about $200 to $300 a month. And basically, the major thing that was holding me back from not only earning a lot of money, but to reach my full potential was quitting my full-time job. And it's obviously a very risky thing to do, but a little bit of backstory about my job is I was paid basically minimum wage, and I was commuting 2.5 hours to get to this job and then commute 2.5 hours to get back home. When you're doing work for some clients, when you come back home, you've got like zero energy. These relationships kind of dwindle away over time, and I don't have any energy to pursue these kind of dreams. And that's probably been a sad metaphor of my life, is I have massive dreams. I feel like I have a good vision of what I want to do, but I've also got this job and I don't have any energy when I come back home. So it's okay, I don't really need to do these dreams. I've got enough money to basically just barely survive, and that's okay. And I'll just keep doing that for the next few years. But I might consider leaving, but I probably won't leave. I'll probably just stay at my job because it's nice and easy. And then what happened a month ago is I quit my job and I fell back on nothing. So I didn't have any clients when I quit this job. I just quit my job and had nothing. And obviously a lot of my family weren't too happy about that. I don't live with my family, but I do live with my girlfriend, and she was sort of supportive, but at the same time a little bit concerned because I need to pay rent, I need to pay bills, and I need to pay shopping. So I've basically quit my job and I have no income. This is kind of a crazy decision to make, but at the same time she kind of knew I wanted to do this for quite a long time. I basically kind of reached out to my old clients. I got some work from them again because they were needing some video editing work, so that's good. That's a few extra $100 in my bank. It's obviously not enough to live off of, and it's not enough to pay any bills, but it's a start. And then, long story short, I'm doing a lot of cold outreach, a lot of Loom calls. That's where you send a little 1-minute video to potential clients, potential business owners or creators, saying, hey, here are my services, here's what I charge. And probably 99% of the time those don't work. Sending that little video was definitely a nice touch. One of these clients did come back to me. It was a podcast that just started in Glasgow. I'm from Glasgow, that's where my background is, so we obviously had a little bit more of a connection there. This guy just started a podcast and it had a lot of potential, but at the same time things were getting very poorly run. And what I mean by that is their full-length podcast clips on YouTube had a big Vegas Pro watermark in the middle of the screen. And my expertise as a video editor is probably in the short-form content space. This podcast had a few short-form videos uploaded, but again, it's got the Sony Vegas watermark in the middle of the TikTok, and it's got this full text of screen all over the screen that says full podcast now on YouTube. And in my mind, I don't know if people know this, but that's a massive, those types of videos are never going to do well on TikTok. Never mind YouTube, never mind anything. So I reached out to them saying, hey, these things aren't going to work, but I do know what works. I'm an expert in short form content. Let me know if we could work together. And then this guy came back to me and it was very surprising to me. He asked if I could do videos for free, if I could edit the podcast for free, and if I could do short form content for free. And as soon as I heard this, I was like, wait a minute, who do you think? There was just so many emotions going through my head, almost like anger. But strangely enough, I pursued this. I would edit some podcasts for free and I would edit some short form content videos for free, just to show you that what I can do actually works. And I said, in return, if you could, reach out to your network of people and try and get me some clients as well, try and do some outreach to businesses or whatever in the local area and just say, hey, this guy's very good at what he does, this is his number, give him a call and we can work together. In Muslim culture, in Pakistani culture, this is very common. This is, everyone always helps each other in Glasgow. And if you're from the UK, you'll know what I mean with in Bradford, there's people like this as well that are Muslim. They're everyone just helps each other, and it's a pretty cool thing, to be honest. I'm not Muslim, I'm the whitest guy in Glasgow, but I have some new connections that have that kind of Pakistani background. And basically, these podcast clips done very well. They're getting 100,000 views, some of these podcast clips. And if you compare that to the 90 views that we're getting before, it's obviously night and day. Now to the point that people are actually paying this podcast guy to appear on the podcast because of the free publicity that these short form videos are getting. It's like a massive advert for the businesses that are appearing on the podcast. I hope this makes sense. This video's kind of rambling on, but basically everybody's happy here because business owners that are appearing on this podcast are getting free publicity. They're getting like 300,000 views in total, and they're getting a lot of leads for their own businesses from what I've heard. The podcast is very happy because this podcast went from 0 followers to just under 1,000 in the space of a few weeks. And then I'm very happy because there's people reaching out to me who want to do work with me through this podcast, and through the podcast owner, he's done a very good job of getting me some leads that are very hot leads. I'm getting like WhatsApp messages every day. I'm getting some random phone calls from unknown numbers that are based in Glasgow. He's put up his part of the deal. I've helped his podcast grow. It's getting to the point where there's a lot of potential for this podcast, and we're discussing, working in 2026. And the lesson of this video is, if someone does reach out to you and say, please help me out for free, but in return I will get you some hot leads, you should definitely consider taking that option up. And that's what I've done. And now I've got probably about 5 to 6 clients that I'm working with on a daily basis. Since I quit my job last month, I've been working every single day. I wouldn't change it for the world, and I've got all the energy in the world. And I've even got this idea of starting my own YouTube channel to discuss my failures, discuss my success, and to see how far I can take this journey. My previous job, I was earning minimum wage. Today, as I'm recording this, I've probably earned about double than what I earned at my previous job, and this is an incredible feeling. It's not as amazing a feeling as you probably expect, because I still have that anxiety of, can this continue? I can't take my foot off the gas now, because then I'll have 0 clients and I still need to pay my bills. And maybe I've gotten a little bit lucky with this one podcast client, but it can definitely happen to you. You should maybe consider that strategy of doing work for someone for free if they can get you some leads. These leads are very well paying leads. They have the money, they have the business, but they don't have the time to run their own social media or to make their own videos. So these people outsource these things to creative people, and everyone kind of just helps each other. This podcast owner thinks that this particular business could do with my services, so they gives them my number. The rest is history. I've had a very, very good first month as a unemployed freelance video editor, and I'm currently building a plan for 2026 to how I can take this even further, and I don't need to commute 5 hours a day. As crazy as that sounds, that is true. I was commuting 5 hours a day to get to my job, and I had no energy to pursue my dreams. So I quit my job and I'm pursuing my dreams, and so far it's been a success. Whatever comes up must come down. There's going to be some bad months as well, and I need to be prepared for that. So, I'm really excited to start this journey. I think 2026 has the potential to be the best year of my life, and it's one I've wanted to have my entire professional career, working for a boss that I never really liked to work for. And I know people are in this same position. I know there's a lot of people consuming content out there about earning hundreds of thousands a month as a, creative agency owner. I'm taking the more humble approach of, can you be your own boss and earn a very, average salary by yourself, or even slightly below average salary, and still live a very comfortable life and have a lot of energy? And that's currently, at the moment, what's happening in my life. And, I've never been happier, and there's a lot of stress that I had at my previous job that I don't have anymore. And I've got some new stresses, but I'm very excited to take these challenges on. This video's been a little bit long. It was mostly just a little bit of a waffle, to be honest, but I hope there can be some value in this. I hope people can, pursue their dreams. I don't want people to be stuck in a job they don't like. And if you're a very talented video editor, I don't see why you can't do what I've been doing, because I'm not the best video editor in the world. I do have a creative eye for storytelling, and I feel like I'm quite good at doing what I do. But at the same time, there's probably a good chance you're a better video editor than I am. So take that, information and, see what you want to do with that. I'll catch you guys later. Please subscribe for more of this. I really enjoy just kind of tell my story, and hopefully something in this video could have been a good help to you to pursue your dreams. And I'll catch you in the next video.